Michael, the government had some tough words about this, didn't they?
Yes, they did. And the feeling here in Havana, Mike, is that this move was politically motivated and that expelling more than half of the Cuban diplomats from the embassy in Washington will do nothing to get to the bottom of these mysterious so-called sonic attacks. Cuba's foreign minister called the move unjustifiable and complained that the US wasn't giving Cuba access to the evidence.
The Ministry of Foreign Affairs strongly protests and condemns this unfounded and unacceptable decision, as well as the pretext used to justify it.
Mr. Rodriguez went on to ask how Cuba could do more to protect US diplomats when it hadn't been given access to those allegedly affected, nor to the US doctors and technical experts involved.
According to the information available and the data supplied by the United States, there is no evidence of the occurrence of the alleged incidents or the causes and the origin of the health disorders reported by the US diplomats and their relatives.
By paring back both embassies to their bare essentials, it's ordinary Cubans and Cuban Americans who are likely to suffer the most. Without consular services, Cubans can't go to the US to visit relatives or for cultural or academic exchanges or business, while Cuban Americans won't get the documents to come and visit relatives back here in Cuba. Mike.
Michael, you and I have talked a lot about U.S.-Cuba relations over the years, and they've yo-yoed all over the place. One has to ask, where does it leave relations now?
Well, when former President Barack Obama came here last year, he said that he'd come to bury the last remnants of the Cold War. Well, it now appears that news of that is premature. Certainly, President Donald Trump has rolled back some of the relationship, making it more difficult for people to travel here and do business. But these were fairly minor compared to these latest moves, which will only add to what is a renewed tensions and mistrust and suspicions on both sides. I think the only positive thing that can be said so far is that they haven't broken diplomatic relations altogether. That at least still stands.